All right. Good morning, traders.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Good to have you on board. Sorry, I took a little while because I was trying to notify the others to join us. So somebody was typing that I wasn't audible. Olajumoke Akinele, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, sir. Okay, so let's get started. So today is Wednesday, the 14th of February 2024, and coincidentally, it's the Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's to all the traders, and happy Valentine's to
all the traders. But I hope you made enough tips to take your loved one out today, because that's one of the reasons why we're trading, so that we can provide for our loved ones, our family members, So it's a great one. It's a great day. So let's look at our fundamentals and what we have in stock. What the market rather has in stock for us today. The market is the boss. We just follow. So today by 8 a.m. on fundamentals, we have the GBP, CPI. To be honest, CPI is independent of technicals. We've seen some of them happen this week on, I think, CHF and another instrument like that. It's actually independent of technicals. So we need to just understand that and trade in line with whatever the market gives. If it is actual greater than forecast, we buy the pound. And if it's actual less than forecast, we sell the pound. So there's no special analysis on CPI. Later today by 4 p.m. from the same United Kingdom, the Bank of England, Governor Bailey is going to give a speech. That is a no-no area. We really don't trade speeches. And also by 11 p.m. later tonight, the Reserve Bank of Australia, Governor Bullock, is also going to give a speech. That equally is a no-go area. So our focus today is the CPI from UK by 8 a.m. After which the fundamental activity, the technical rather, after this fundamental event by 8 o'clock, between 8 o'clock and 4 p.m., there's enough room to trade any technical setup that we see. And actually, I have some technical setup that I'll show us, which are already evolving in the market, which I believe will trigger in the course of today. So I'll flip over now to my MT4, and I will look at the technical setup. Firstly, let's just take a browse at the GBP. We have GBP CPI by 8 o'clock. That's roughly the next 40 minutes. GBP CHF has been uptrend. I think some of them have been uptrend. GBP JPY2 has been uptrend. Like I said, if the news comes out actual greater than forecast, buy the pound, any of the pound. If it comes out less than forecast, sell the pound. So there's nothing spectacular about most of the pound pairs that have actually experienced an uptrend this week, except for GBP USD that seems to be facing down. Virtually all they have all experienced an uptrend. So if the news comes out actually greater than forecast, buy the pound. If it is actually less than forecast, sell the pound. So that's just the simple thing to do for CPI by 8 o'clock this morning. So aside that, I have some technical setup which I want to show us. And from my weekly outlook, most of the JPY pairs were looking bearish, and that is getting established. Though earlier between Monday and yesterday, they seems to have experienced an uptrend, but then it seems also that they're trying to recalibrate back to the earlier analysis, because this is Euro JPY on the, let's start from the daily time frame. Now, on the daily time frame, let me clean off some of this. On the daily time frame, we can clearly see that Euro JPY hit a resistance level yesterday, to close on that level, and that resistance level was also an old support level. So we have a support turn resistance, which technically should see Euro JPY go bearish. So we have a bearish outlook on Euro JPY for today. And I can flip down to 1 hour. And on my 1 hour time frame, I can draw a trend line right here. The second one at the back, which gives me a perfect rising wedge. Now, a rising wedge is a bearish reversal pattern. On the daily time frame, we are seeing the bearish possibility, and on 1 hour, the same also, is being reflected on the chart. So, but then I will be looking to make entry when price breaks below this trend line downwards. So once I have a breakout candle is a candle that clearly breaks the trend line. When that happens, then I'll be looking for an opportunity to take a sell on Euro JPY. Though the way I'm looking at this chart, there's a possibility it may first of all go up before coming down. I'm saying maybe we may end up having the possibility of a head and shoulder and a drop. That's the possibility I'm saying. Otherwise, if that doesn't work out, we can have an outright break. Either ways, we're expecting a breakout on Euro JPY. So I'm bearish biased on Euro JPY for today. And next I'll look at is the GBP JPY. Okay, this one is subjective because of the news on the pound. So I think I would just want to be silent on this for now, since we are having the news on the pound, so that we don't get a conflict. But then other JPY pairs are equally looking bearish, like CAD JPY and AUD JPY. All right, so this is CAD JPY on 1 hour. And if we go down to, I think we can start this analysis from 4-hour time frame. From the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see price hit a resistance level with a rejection candle with a doji on the 4-hour. And I can clearly draw my trend line right here to touch 2 lower highs. And I can draw a second one at the back right here also. All right. So, and I can take it down to the 1 hour to fine tune my entry. So we have a resistance on the 4-hour and a rising wedge on the 1 hour. Though I'm also seeing the possibility of a minor support right here, and you can see that price seem to respect that support, because on touching that support, now you can see price is tracing up a little. Please, let's mute our devices. So what I'm seeing here also, just like I saw on the Euro JPY, we may end up with a head and a shoulder and a breakout. So I'm bearish biased on CAD JPY also, just like the Euro JPY. And the third JPY will be the AUD JPY. This is the AUD JPY on 1 hour. I can go down to the 4-hour, even to the daily time frame. Let's start from the daily. So this is just telling us there's a confluence. There is an overall direction on most of the JPY pairs. If 2 of them already have shown us bearish, momentum, then it means most of them may sell today. But then please let your focus be on the ones I'm showing you, because those are the ones that have corresponding technical setup. The Euro JPY, the CAD JPY, the AUD JPY. So price hit a resistance on Euro JPY, resistance, resistance, resistance. Multiple times, price has hit, that resistance level and has bounced backwards. And you can see it reflected on the 4-hour. So I can zoom down to 1 hour. In fact, this one is, I'll even take it over any other JPY setup I've given, because this one is clear that we have a rising wedge, and there's a rising wedge. And this other one here is already, a confirmed head and shoulder, head, second shoulder, and a drop. I tell you that this is the most perfect setup for the JPY PS. This one is clear that we're having a head and shoulder pattern. The CAD JPY2 is almost like that. The one that is least at the moment should be the Euro JPY. That one is still in the formative stage, but I'm much more comfortable with the CAD JPY, and better still, even the AUD JPY. Those ones are much more profound, that we are having, a confluence, a resistance on daily, a rising wedge of 1 hour, and a head and shoulder. So once price reverses back and breaks the lower trend line, you can trigger a sell on AUD JPY. Like I said, please give AUD JPY priority over others. The confluence is very, very strong on AUD/JPY. And if I look at my Fibonacci, and you can see how powerful the confluence is. The neckline of the head and shoulder is resting exactly on Fibonacci 23.6. That's a strong confluence, meaning that the moment price breaks that neckline, then we'll see, a sharp move in price, to Fibonacci 38.2. And let's check at 38.2. That should be 32 pips at 38.2. To Fibonacci 50 will give 57 pips. And to Fibonacci 61.8 will give 81 pips. That's 32 plus 50. Let's say you want to 30 plus 50. That's 80 plus another 80. That's about 160 pips. You can catch on this. That is if you take 3 trades, but please trade, practice proper risk management, trade in line with your account. And please take note, people chat me up for this, that I said that the setup seems accurate does not mean you should go and use a high standard lot. No, still maintain your lot size, maintain your lot size. It's very important that you practice a very good risk management. So that's my outlook on AUD/JPY. And those are all, okay, I still have crude oil. Those are the intraday trades. I've given intraday setup on Euro/JPY, CAD/JPY, AUD/JPY. Then I have another intraday setup on the crude oil. Just a minute. All right, so this is crude oil on the daily time frame. Now, please take note that crude oil can be volatile, so it's only for those who understand how to trade it. It's not for everybody. Please let's take note of that. All right, so this is crude oil on the daily time frame, and we have a support, fund, resistance, 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 and price closed on that resistance level again yesterday. So price closed on that resistance level again yesterday. So definitely we are looking for a bearish breakout in price. And mind you, we really don't have any much fundamental activity, at least the better part of today. So I can flip down to 1 hour. And on my 1 hour, I can draw a trend line. And I can draw a second trend line, giving me a perfect rising wedge. Okay. Now, so we have a resistance, a key level resistance on support multiple times on the daily, a rising wedge on 1 hour, which is a confluence for a reversal trade in the sell direction. And I'm also seeing a shoulder, a head, and a second shoulder, point of that candlestick up there, hitting the daily trend line, like a shooting star on a head and shoulder pattern. These are strong confluences that we should expect a bearish breakout on crude oil. How do we open like 2 trades or 3 trades? So I just click on the same trade 2 times or 3 times. But I will advise you don't do more than 2 trades. It's safer for you that way. Just open it on the same currency 2 times. That's all. But then you'll be using different take profit levels. The idea is that you want to catch a better move of the market compared to when you use just one trade. Sometimes our emotions take the better part of us when you have one trade. You may end up closing the trade sometimes before the trade hits take profit. And sometimes too, it's not as if it's guaranteed that trade will hit that big take profit. So if you split the trade into 2, you can capture the market as it's progressing. So you are sure to capture it better compared to using one trade. All right, so please just let me round up, then you can drop your request. Let me round up what I'm doing now. So from all indication, I'm expecting a bearish move on crude oil. So as I was saying, I'm expecting a bearish breakout on crude oil. So let's watch out today. And using Fibonacci, we should see crude oil drop at least from Fibonacci 3.6. That's if you want to be insist really on Fibonacci. Otherwise, if you have a manual breakout before then, you can actually look at entering your trade. So with Fibonacci, with entry at Fibonacci 23.6, we can see price drop to Fibonacci 50 at about 184 pips, and at 61.8, that's Fibonacci 61.8 at about 268 pips. Please, guys, watch this in the course of today. This should really trigger. So I'm bearish biased on crude oil. And I think that should be all with my intraday setup. That's all. Euro JPY, CAD JPY, AUD JPY, and crude oil. Then I have a swing setup for those who are swing traders, in our midst. We have swing traders also. We are not all intraday. And for the swing traders, our focus is going to be on AUD CAD, and the Euro USD. Now, for the swing traders, if you look at AUD CAD on the daily time frame, you can see that price has been trending downwards. We've had a downtrend in recent time, and currently I'm seeing the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern on the daily time frame, which should lead to a bullish reversal. Now, we need confluence. Now, if it's a chart pattern, sometimes you really don't need a confluence, but if you have it, it's better. It gives you more confidence. I have a resistance. Price broke the resistance. The resistance turned support. So I should see a bullish continuation. That's a confirmation that price is going in the bullish direction. An inverse head and shoulder, a support a resistance turned support will lead to a bullish breakout again. Then I can flip down to 4-hour. On 4-hour time frame, I can draw a trend line. I should bring it closer. But it still covers this region. All right, so that's it for the swing. We have a confluence on the daily time frame, an inverse head and shoulder, then still on the daily resistance turn support, and on 4-hour, we are seeing a falling wedge. Everything pointing to the fact that we're expecting a bullish breakout on AUD CAD. So if you're there, you're a swing trader, please watch out for this. Our entry will be when price breaks out of the trend line and our RSI can cross above 50. But also take note for the inverse head and shoulder, this is the shoulder head, second shoulder, and a breakout upwards. Now, I would suggest you actually wait, even if the price breaks out of the trend line, let it break out above this current level, which I'm using to represent the neckline. It's not the exact point for the neckline, but it's like a resistance, minor resistance that needs to be broken. The price break above 0.87902, and then you can trigger a buy on AUD CAD. This is a swing trade. It will last till it all depends anyway, but if the market really moves well, it should move well this week. Otherwise, it may span, even till the end of the week or next week. And profit projection here to Fibonacci 50 will be, okay, let's look at entry using Fibonacci as Fibonacci 23.6. So profit should be in the Fibonacci 50 should be around 92 pips, and 61.8 should be 132. Now it's swing. Price may surge, more than expected and go to 78.6 Fibonacci, and that will be at about 187 pips. So if you're a swing trader, that's a setup to watch for you for today. And it's actually part of my weekly outlook. So you can also refer to that, as a guide. And finally, I'll be looking at Euro USD. And that Euro USD, actually, I'll show you the dollar index version. I think I should do that first. Now, this is the dollar index on the daily time frame. And price, as I remember telling us yesterday or 2 days ago that price was actually ranging on the dollar index. We had a range here and said if price breaks out downwards, it's a sell. If it breaks out upwards, it's a buy. But the price eventually broke out upwards, even though I was thinking there's a possibility maybe downwards, but it ended up breaking out upwards. So there are times when analysis may not go as planned, but then I already gave the indication that it could be either ways. You understand? So now that has happened, but then currently price hits a support, an inner support turned resistance. Price broke through that support and is back to it as a resistance. So we should see technically a bearish move on Euro USD. Sorry, this is DXY, that's the dollar index. So we expect a downward movement on the dollar index. And that is another confirmation for that is the fact that we have a perfect rising wedge at that point. So that's from a technical angle, all things being equal, we should see a bearish movement on the dollar index. So if the dollar index is going to be going bearish, I'm having a setup on Euro USD. So if the dollar index is going to be bearish, Euro USD might be bullish. And that's what I'm seeing currently. Excuse me. Now this is Euro USD, and I think I'll go to the weekly time frame for this. On the weekly time frame, I actually have a trend line, and price, currently is testing that trend line on the weekly time frame. Okay, it's there, still there on the daily. Pardon me. Sometimes you have to just adjust and readjust. It's not that wide. That gap is not that wide. Okay. All right, so I can flip down to 4 hour, and this is what we have on 4 hour. You can see that price is actually currently testing that weekly trend line, which can be used as a springboard for price to bounce in the bullish direction. And we have a falling wedge. So all things being equal, there's a potential for price to reverse back from here. Again, this is for swing traders. If you're an intraday trader, that's not for you. I already gave a setup for intraday traders: Euro JPY, CAD JPY, AED JPY, and crude oil. Those are the ones I gave for the intraday traders, while I gave AED CAD and Euro USD, which is the current one for swing traders. So if you're a swing trader, just watch out for a bullish breakout on Euro USD and AUD CAD. So that's all for my analysis this morning. And for those who are dropping requests, I'll check them as we try to round up. All right, so Olubodun Jamiu is asking about AUD USD. So let's give that a look. So if you're expecting a dollar index to be bearish, then you might be looking at a bullish possibility on AUD USD. All right, so this is AUD USD on the daily time frame. I remember last week I was telling us this instrument was going to sell kind of long term, because from the weekly time frame, we had a downtrend which has been sustained for many weeks. And not only we are a downtrend, we had a resistance also. So this was actually a bearish. And on the daily time frame, I remember telling us last week that this was a head and shoulder, which will lead to a bearish breakout. Now, I actually was thinking price would drop to this low, but with the dollar index being bearish at the moment, we could have a retracement. It may not be a reversal, but a retracement may be possible, which is a similar thing that happened here. It looked like price was going to sell, then it dropped. So we may have another retracement and a breakout downwards later on. So with that, if you find an entry on a lower time frame like 1 hour, so the whole thing is not really looking, we don't have a support currently. There's no support in view. But then what I would just suggest is that this is a 1 hour on AUD USD. If this reverses to a double bottom pattern, then you can ride the trend up. But wait for price to break the neckline. That's the only possibility I'm seeing around this for now. So for the person asking about AUD USD, you need to exercise a lot of patience for price to reverse back. They now break out upwards. That's only when buy AUD USD. Otherwise, maybe you look for another instrument to trade. So that's my view on that AUD USD. All right, next is GBP USD. Now I'm going to stick with my outlook on the dollar index, irrespective of what we are seeing. So if the okay, GBP USD is actually subjective because we have a pound news by 8 o'clock. So I don't want to give any. There's nothing really technical. The only technical thing around this instrument for now is that price actually did hit a support zone, and price is testing that support with a rejection candle as a resistance. Technically, this might sell. Technically, from a technical angle, but the selling of this will negate whatever analysis we have on the dollar index, and that's why I want to be very careful about this. And also at the same time, by 8 o'clock, there's going to be a fundamental release on CPI. So I don't think I want to delve into this for now, because we have a lot of things that are conflicting against each other. So let's just be very careful of this instrument. If the news by 8 o'clock comes out good for the pound, you can buy. If it comes out bad for the pound, you can sell. But on technicals, let's leave the technicals out of the GBP USD for now. Okay, so Noel is asking about US 30 and gold. US 30 and gold. All right. Okay, so this is gold. Gold actually on the daily time frame, we actually cited a symmetrical triangle on gold. And price already broke out. There's a possibility that price may, come to test this support level without before making a reversal. That's actually a possibility. That's quite possible. So let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. The RSI is oversold on 1 hour. Like I said, price may reverse, might retrace, not reverse rather, might retrace and drop further. So what I would suggest is that if there's retracement in price, that is price going back in the bullish direction, wait for a break of this most recent low, taking that as a support. When price breaks that level, then it can trigger itself to the next major support level. So that's my outlook on gold. Okay, and that's sorry, US 30. Okay, Mr. Sonny Chinks, I'm coming. Let me attend to US 30. Okay, US 30 finally broke out yesterday. And from a technical angle, there may be a continuation. But like I said, I'm very careful of this instrument because of a lot of instability it has shown in recent times, especially against reversing. That's not been reversing. You know, when it drops, many times it loses an opportunity to go back into the bullish direction. So trade this with a lot of caution. Now, currently we have a support level on 4-hour. Price dropped to a support on the 4-hour time frame and formed a rejection candle or a pin bar at that point. That is indicative of, you know, a possible bullish movement. It could drop down to 1 hour. I think let's even go down to 15 minutes. On 15 minutes, this is looking like it's trying to form an inverse head and shoulder, but the liquidity is not strong to push it up as at this moment. Maybe in the course of the day, we may have, you know, the market may gain strength enough to push that second shoulder up. So what I would suggest is that I would draw a trend line right here, but let me just draw it across here to indicate the neckline. So whenever a new candle, or better still, let's even make it safe. Whenever a new candle, you know, breaks out above this current high, sorry, I'm not drawing it clearly. Let me be more precise. Once a new candle breaks out above this resistance, then you can trigger a buy on US 30. It's forming an inverse head and shoulder, but there's not been sufficient liquidity to push the price. But if the buyers are strong and price breaks out above this resistance level, they can trigger a buy on US 30. So I still maintain a bullish outlook on US 30. But at the same time, trading is a lot of caution. So your stop loss is in place. This instrument is unstable for now. That's just the truth. But from a technical angle, that's what I'm seeing. And so I've attended to GBP USD, US 30 gold, GBP JPY.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Mine is a question on the fundamental.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the challenges I have in trading fundamental is that that first move, I'm always missing it. I don't know what I can do. For instance, as we are waiting to see whether actual is going to be greater than forecast, whether it is a red or a green, before I can take any action, boom, it's gone. That first move. I'm always missing it. I don't know what to do. Because once I'm watching the Forex factory to wait for it to either take red or green, then there's already movement on the chart. You know,
It will be stable.
I know it will be stable, but usually that first move, that boom, before you know it's already 50 pips gone. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, what you can do is you can set pending order if you really want to catch, you know, that move. Though, to be honest, pending order sometimes can be a 50-50 thing. That's the truth. It can be a 50-50 in the sense that the care is not taken, you know, if you set a buy stop or a sell stop, price might end up to trigger both of them, you know, except you are very fast to, if you have now decided, if you have now identified the direction to quickly close the other one. What I'm saying is this. This is GBP JPY. We have CPI by 8 o'clock, just exactly 20 minutes from now. If you want to set a pending order, you can do a buy stop. Let me close all this trend line so that doesn't confuse. A buy stop maybe at this recent high, a sell stop at the most recent low. So whichever way the market triggers, if it triggers up and there's no spike, the issue is that there are some news that comes with spike. Spike means when the market is buying and selling at the same time. You understand? So if the news comes out without a spike and it's a buy, boom, it goes up. You don't really miss much. And if it's a sell, it drops. You don't miss much. But in a case where it comes out with a spike, now usually many times the spike comes when you have news events with about 2 items. You know, maybe a CPI, like it happened on that was a CPI that was this yesterday. It was about 3 events at the same time. Sometimes some of those data may conflict with each other. You know, and in such a case, you may have, even though if it's going to sell, you may first go for a buy, hit your entry, then now go for a sell, hit your entry. In such cases, yeah, you may be having some profit on the sell, but you have a corresponding loss on the buy. So you may have to just close one at the end of the day. So the only danger with pending order is that your two sides may get triggered, except if you leave a very wide, you know, entry so that you give the thing enough space to breathe. Yeah. Excuse me. So that's just what you can do in such instances. I understand what you're saying. It looks like, to be honest, it looks like Forex Market is getting slow these days. Before, once it's time with one touch, 1 or 2 seconds, it opens up. But these days, it seems to be taking longer. Maybe there are too many people on the site that is dragging it. Honestly, I really don't know.
Yes, it takes longer. It will be showing pending for some time. It will be pending before the red, either red or green will show. It will be showing pending. Then the candlestick is already moving. By the time it shows either red or green, you know, maybe 50 pips already on one direction.
And you know, Forex Factory and the Baby Pips, they are the most visited Forex sites globally. So sometimes too, when there are too many people using a site and there is no sufficient infrastructure to make the sites responsive, it may drag. So what we might do also is to look for another site with time that we can. The thing is that Forex Factory is easy to interpret when we're doing analysis. It's a lot easier than many other sites, you know, because the way it is built, it just makes it easy to do the analysis with it compared to many other sites. We may have a backup site to use when the news is released. If that one is faster at displaying the outcome, we may be looking out for such so that we can have a fast entry, you know, into the market.
So right, thank you very much.
All right.
Hello, sir. I want to say something, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I called you yesterday, but you were somehow busy, and I wanted to say something about this news trading before the time comes. And thank God that we are discussing it now. I just joined. I want to say 1 or 2 of my observations about this news trading. See, I don't know whether it's from the broker or from the platform. I don't know. Several occasions when I place my buy stop and my sell stop, I have discovered about 3 things. Now, if I place buy stop, if the market is going on my buy, are you with me, sir? Are you there?
I'm with you.
Yeah, if the trade is going on my buy, it will enter, then give me small profit, then take me out from the market, then continue up. That one, I was surprised that day. The second one was that it shifted my entry. Like if my buy is something at port 2, it shifted and went high and started at port 4. By that time, I've lost a lot of piece, and it shifted it upwards before entering. And I was like, is it from my phone or from broker or from that kind of stuff? Do you understand? And secondly, you were talking about, this is the third one I want to say, sir. You are talking about getting another website. I think I don't know whether I will say that TradeView or the brokers, they see the result before it comes out at Forex Factory, because the trade always move at 29 point something seconds. It don't get at that 230. The trade moves, because I always watch it carefully. The trade move while that thing is still on pending, while the region is still on pending. So I don't know whether I would say they discover the result before we can even see it. So if I'm to say maybe buy stop and sell stop is not working for me, let me be waiting for the news. Before I will wait for the news at Forex Factory, the market would have moved for a long time. So these are the things just disturbing me now. The strategy they taught us on how to trade on news is good, but I don't know what is happening to my own. Even I put buy stop or sell stop, it will hit my own and then give me a little profit and cut off the game and continue. Sometimes the third one is that sometimes it won't even enter. It will just go on buy. It will just eliminate my trade. It will not even enter. You just eliminate the trade and continue that same line. I don't know. I'm done, sir.
All right, sir. Now, first thing I want you to know is that news trading can be unstable. Please let that be registered in your mind. It is called news. It's a fundamental release. There can be conflicting data. So don't expect that once news is released, if it's going to 100 pips, it will just go bam from 1 to 100. No, that doesn't. There could be such instances, but that does not mean that is how news work at all times. News can be unstable. In fact, many times, if you check a lot of sites online, they will tell you that, especially for newbie traders, they will tell you not to even bother to trade news at all. Now, the reason why we are telling you to trade is because we are guiding you. Otherwise, we'll tell you to just stay out of it because it can be unstable. That's number one. Number two, okay, imagine, before I go further, imagine a news that comes out, which happens most with AUD. It comes out with a speech simultaneously, even like FOMC. FOMC data is reported with a speech. There will be instability. If you put, that's as I say, sometimes pending under can be a 50-50 thing. If it's a news that comes out with a speech or that comes out with a spike, both your buy stop and sell stop will be triggered at the same time. That's going to happen. You understand? So we expect instability. And that's why if you are trading news trading is not a kind of strategy that it's not a style of trading that you put in a high lot size, because sometimes things may not go as planned. So if you put in a high lot size and things don't go as planned, you may end up risking your account. Trading normally like any other normal trade, with minimal lot size, and watch out for what happens in the market. That's number one. Number two is that the price movement during news trading, it's somewhat a reflection of not the broker this time around, but the people we call liquidity providers. Now, it is normal. It happens. You can search this online. During news release, liquidity provider often widen spread. Please Google this. It's online. Thank you. Somebody is posting. Mr. Emmanuel is saying, news trading is not just for the experienced, but for the well-experienced. And if you are not well-experienced, please stay away from news trading. Else, thank you very much. You are just saying my mind. It's not. So liquidity providers often widen spread during news trading. It is a common practice. Google it, you will find it. So the spread always widens. So that's what happens when maybe you enter a trade, you say it doesn't fit you at that trade, and maybe somebody is manipulating. If there's a manipulation, not the broker. Across all brokers during news, the spread widens. It happens, and that is a function of the liquidity provider, not the broker. So those are the things that happen around news trading. That's why for me, when I want to trade news, the way I trade it is that I don't do all this short-term news trading. I don't do it. I look for a technical setup and do a swing. I cite a swing setup and I enter the trade in that technical direction. So it will go there for a long time. I'm not just really looking to catch 20, 30 pips. I'm looking for like 50, 100 or more, because I'm expecting it to trigger a swing. So that way, no matter what is happening, whether there is a spread widening, from liquidity provider or anyone, it does not affect me in any way. So that's what works for me, but I know many of us are like, we try to trade news as if we're scalping. If it works for you, perfect. All of us will not do it the same way. But at the same time, get ready for the inconsistencies that may happen along with it. So that's just a summary of that. And for the last one, like I said, I think I'll just try to search if we can, and also test before I bring to you, if we'll find a site that will also give us a faster data compared to Forex Factory. So I hope that has answered all questions on this trading. Okay, so Mr. Sonny was talking about GBP, JPY. Okay, Olubengeja is saying, sir, kindly suggest other platform to check for news. I believe other traders seem to get the news before we get for Forex. Okay, I've already answered that. Check out my Facebook. Okay, we'll look into that. We'll look into all that. Our job is to make trading easier for you, so we'll just do all the necessary. What time frame is okay to give the market space to breathe? I'm not understanding that. If it's relating to news trading, it's just for you to look at the recent high or low. It's just a discretionary thing. It's just a discretionary stuff. I'm just trying to read all the comments. I didn't get to your analysis on gold. I had network interruption. Okay, I'll attend to that. How can we know it will really break and not play a fake out? You can look, we have to wait till it happens and you look at the movement and the candlesticks. That's what will tell you that. All right, let's just quickly run. Egbo, I have a question about news trading. If the difference between the actual and forecast is like 1.0, do we still trade it? Yes, now, as long as it is greater. If it's greater than the forecast, it's a buy. If it's less than forecast, it's a sell. So that's, can trade it. Okay, Mr. Son is saying it's trapped in GBP JPY. Okay, let's quickly look at that. Let's quickly look at GBP JPY. And somebody is asking about BTC USD. All right, so this is GBP JPY on the, this is 1 hour. Let's go to the daily, weekly, and monthly. Now, no resistance is in view on this. Now, for Mr. Sonny, are you on a buy or a sell? Let's know where you are at to know how to, you know. Mr. Sonny is still there. Okay, I'm not hearing his voice. But then all things being equal, I'm seeing the possibility of a head and shoulder being formed here. So, but then what is going to decide the movement of GBP for this morning is the news by 8 o'clock. You're on a sell. Okay, if you're on a sell, we don't know the outcome of the CPI. If it comes out good, price will go up. And if it comes out bad, price will sell. So it now depends on the level of risk exposure you have. But if price breaks above this most recent high at 189.999, there is a strong possibility that your trade may become a losing trade. Otherwise, if the pattern I'm seeing here works out, it looks like it's forming a head and shoulder. It looks, I'm not saying exactly it is, because it's not complete yet. Then we may see a sell, and that's me. But then I think we can still run, it's just 6 minutes. We can still extend this class for 6 minutes so that we can all see what happens by 8 o'clock. So we're not rushing to close. Okay, Emmanuel Luko said that some traders choose to set pending orders, either buy or sell during the news, not on both. Good. That's another better one. So, and that's why I always suggest that you have a technical outlook if you can find one. So if your technical outlook says it's going to be a sell, then you can put a sell stop pending order, you don't put a buy, so that you don't get triggered on the two sides. You understand? So that's a good one, Mr. Emmanuel. So that can also be followed. You can follow that as a guide also. See, there are ways.
So in respect to this particular strategy now, Mr. Man is saying, I think you can remember that news don't respect technical listing.
It does sometimes, sir. It does. I've seen it many times. I'm telling you, it does. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. I checked the Forex Factory now, and I'm seeing GDP. There is no pair corresponding with that. Is it that the news is going to play on all pairs corresponding with GDP?
Sorry, I'm not getting you. You said you checked the Forex Factory and...
Okay. It was just showing GDP red. So is it that the news is going to correspond with all pairs
Yes,
that is
now it's going to
corresponding
affect
with
all peers.
GDP. Is it going to affect all peers corresponding with GDP?
GBP, not
Okay, both
GDP.
GDP, AUD, and
All
GDP,
of them.
JPY.
All of them. But we
Okay,
often look out for the ones with a technical setup because that one could move better. It doesn't mean that because it's going to correspond to all GBP, you now sell or buy all of them. That would be over trading. You have to pick specific one. But for this particular news, to be honest, I'm not seeing a setup on
Okay,
anyone.
sir.
So I'm kind of neutral a little. But then we are 3 minutes to CPI. Let's watch out what happens. Markets by 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have a technical bias. If we had a technical bias, I would have said maybe you put a sell or buy stop order. We don't have. So in this case now, we may just have to wait for the actual to be released and know the direction the markets will go. All right, so the other thing I'm seeing on this GBP USD is that I'm seeing this trend line on the daily time frame, which can lead to a bounce in the bearish direction. So, Mr. Emmanuel, just pray this market comes down with this trend line. That's all I can just encourage you, because honestly, I don't know where this news is going to come out, whether it's going to be a buy or sell. But if it follows this trend line bounce, then even the market is already showing it may go down. Current candle is bearish, but that does not mean a direction. Please, I'm not giving an emphatic that when I do analysis, when I'm sure, I'll tell you that from technical, this is what I'm seeing, this is where it should go. But this one, honestly, it's it's somehow we are not seeing any serious clarity. But let's just be hopeful that it will go bearish so that your trade can turn to a winning trade. It's just a wish, a very big wish at this time. So while we're waiting the next 2 minutes for the news, somebody requested about BTC. I'll just take that in a minute. For BTC USD also, all I can see is price. I can see a trend line on the daily, and price hit that trend line last night. So technically, all things being equal, we may be looking for a bounce, in price on BTC USD. So we can go down to 1 hour. And on my 1 hour, what I'm seeing forming at the moment is a head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to a drop. All things being equal, that is what I'm seeing. We have a potential sell on BTC USD. So it may not sell for long because it looks like the bull run has started. So if you are taking a buy on BTC, just know it's a short-term buy. Price may reverse back to the bullish direction later, but that's just what I'm seeing on the short term on on BTC USD. Daniel Prince, does it mean we should buy GBP if it is green? If it is green, buy GBP. If it is red, sell GBP. Simple as that, sir. Yes, the news. I just gave it for the news. If it is green, buy GBP. If it is if it is red, sell GBP. Just take one or two. Don't pour all into it. So maybe you are taking a GBP JPY and a GBP USD, or just take one. So whatever direction the news comes, just trade it in line with that. Be fine. All right, we are less than a minute to go. Let me go back to Forex Factory so that we don't miss this. Okay. 31 seconds. Now, somebody said I should check my FX book. So let me quickly go there also. My fxbook.com. That's the thing. My fxbook.com is not giving me clarity. Those are the issues I have with some of these other sites. I'm not seeing the news on GBP here. It's not there on Facebook. 3 seconds to go, 1 second. So let's see market reaction. GBP, is it moving? Because I'm trying to find my GBP. Let's check GBP JPY. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, congratulations. It's selling. If you're there, you want to sell GBP JPY, it's selling. You can place a sell, but like this other man said, the initial move has happened. Anything that happens after now, there could be some retracement before we have a continuation. But for those who are swing traders, this can just, with some little patience, and trigger a swing trade later on. You can trigger a swing trade later on, but then it's sold. So, Mr. Emmanuel, look, I hope you got, sorry, it's not Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Sonny. Mr. Sonny Chooks. Is Mr. Sonny still there? Let's get your feedback. I hope your trade is in profit now.
Yes, I'm here, sir. I'm here listening.
All right, I hope you're in profit now.
Yes, he's selling.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Since I want to say something. Since this thing is selling now, and the technical analysis we assumed, not assumed, it is saying that the market needs to buy, needs to sell. Should we leave it, or should we just take the small profits and just cut it? Because I just sell and it worked for me. So should I just take the little profit, or do we have seen the technical analysis? It's supposed to go down.
Let me come in.
Oh. All right.
Let me explain something to you, right? Yesterday, on 4 hours, it formed head and shoulder, right? Which means it was supposed to break down because it has been on that resistance, it even broke resistance yesterday. Now, for you to begin to sell today, news is now kind of in line with the fact that the trade has been on a very high resistance level. It has been on the resistance level, all this why. So for you to sell, which means it's a breakout. So you don't just need to cut it and expect to go up again. Just you can see, wait and follow it. Probably this is the breakout for you to enter sell. That is the way I see it. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now, please, I also want you to know that for now, from my own view, if you check, I'm on GBP JPY now. It has not technically entered a sell yet, because you can see we have a rising wedge. And until a new if you're on a sell, hold it, but make sure you put your stop loss in place, because we have a trend line here, and the price may hit this trend line and retrace.
So I'm seeing Forex Factory. Change your screen.
Oh, you're seeing Forex Factory. Okay. Can you see my MT4 now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what I'm seeing now is we have a rising wedge, and you need to wait for price to break. If you have not entered a sell yet, I will advise you wait. If you have entered, no problem. You are in already. Hold your trade, put a stop loss in place. But if you have not entered, wait for a new candle to break out below this trend line for you to enter a sell. Because technically, I told you from the onset, we don't have a technical setup. So the technicals is just forming now. So if you have not entered, please hold on. Let a new candle break below this current trend line before you enter your sell. So that's the advice I'll give on this.
Okay, sir.
And please, if news trading is too fast for you, there's no law that says you must enter during the news. You can wait an hour after the news. Some levels, like support level, trend line can be broken, and you can still enter. Fine. You won't make as much profit like somebody that entered. But I always say there's no competition in this business. Go at your own pace. Do what works for you. If the first one is making you, you are not entering correctly and you're making losses, if it's a slow entry that will work for you and you can cash on 10, 20 pips consistently, you will still be fine at the end of the day. So I always preach that do what works for you. You don't need to always work with the crowd. Yeah, I know there's always that excitement to enter when it's happening, but if it's too fast for you, you just have to work with what works for you. Should we wait for an hour?
Sorry, sir. When you say someone can enter an hour, hello, sir.
I'm with you.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, sir.
All right. I wanted to ask, when you say someone can enter a trade, after an hour, for instance, when the news is out, so news like yesterday, most times bigger news like FOMC or NFP, I discovered if it triggers the spike, that early spike that the market will take, the market hardly reverses. Let's say even half of the pips that it must have gone down at that earlier spike. So that has been a major challenge. I don't know. Is it possible that you come out profitably after that initial usual spike on bigger news like yesterday when we had FOMC? Thank you.
Sorry, if I get a question right, you're asking if a news is released and there's a big spike, if you will still come out profitable at the end of the day. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Yes, it's all a function of the lot size you are trading with. It's all a function of your lot size. And that's why, some people are aggressive with news. If you've been able to master news trading, and you know how, because some of these things too depends on how you've been able to master it well. If you've taken your time, maybe you watch a lot of videos, you've done a lot of practice, you have a strategy that works for you. Forex becomes easy when you know what works for you and you stick with it. So such people may trade with high lot size and they come out with profit. And if it goes bad, because they have good liquidity, it will not affect them. But you have to be honest with yourself at times. If you are having $200 and you want to risk 0.5 on news trading, you are going to blow your account. So trade with a lot size that can carry your risk, that can carry your account, not something above it because you want to make quick money with news. Because to be honest, the way this business is, sometimes it can just be a 50-50. The moment when it's a 50-50, you know that if it flips on your side, good. If it does not flip on your side, the other will happen. So if you have that at the back of your mind, you will manage your risk well so that in case, always prepare for in case if it does not work out fine. Let that be the ruling factor when you're taking your decision to enter any trade, whether technical or fundamental. But like I said, sometimes fundamental can even be more risky to enter into because you don't know the market conditions that could trigger the spike. You don't know. Sometimes technical can be predictable. It can be more predictable sometimes compared to fundamentals. So because of that, the ultimate of it is risk management. Manage your risk so that even if there's a spike and you are not profitable at the end of the day, the risk will be minimal compared to if you have traded a high lot size and you have a large fraction of your account, wiped out. So I hope that answered your question, sir.
Hello, sir. Good morning,
Hello,
sir.
Good morning.
Sir, like this news trade, because I took it too, but if the news is in your direction, what will be the take profit? Is it the next support level, or when you think your profit, you are satisfied with the profit, you close it?
When you are satisfied, there is no law that says you get to the next support level, man. It is news. It is news. It is news. News trading is more discretionary trading. It's unlike technical trading that you know that okay, it will get to this Fibonacci level. There's news is not. It may get there, it may get beyond there, and it may not get there. So you trade news with discretion.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. I think we're ending the class. I think I've attended to all the questions. I've attended to all the requests. Please trade safe. Now we don't have any fundamental events till 4 p.m. So the trade setup I gave, Euro JPY, CAD JPY, AED JPY, crude oil, you can just watch out for them in the course of the day as they trigger. All right. So thank you all and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.